Minister, in my view, the best aggressive actors, state actors, have a full spectrum. And the full spectrum includes, on one end, kinetic warfare, insurgency, plausible deniability insurgency, little green men in the Ukraine, which will later turned out to be special forces commandos in Mufti, and then cyber attacks. The kinetic attacks, not simply malware, which can bring down, for example, the Ukrainian power grid, which actually did happen. Also instrumentalizing minorities in target countries, your minorities. Also, for example, the use of proxy NGOs and infiltrating them. And also, as in recent been alleged in Australia, for example, infiltrating community language newspapers of that particular language to appeal to the minority. And also, of course, disinformation on a more general scale, utilizing agents of influence and so on and so forth. The best of the actors in this game, Minister, use the full suite, but not necessarily the entire suite. They know when to chop and change, when to utilize that precise tool in the toolkit, when it suits their interests best.
In fact, we chose to focus on RT and Sputnik because they are the two flagship of the Russian influence abroad, and especially in the English-spoken world and in the French-spoken world, because we are not talking only about United States or France, but also, for example, the former French colonial empire, a big part of Africa, which is also a target for the Russian influence. And in fact, RT and Sputnik are two structures that are publicly funded, that are producing information material which are not specifically only fake news. In fact, we found only just a few fake news during the French election produced by the Russian, but they produce misinformation material, which can be mobilized by political activists in France, political activists which have nothing to do with Russia, but who will take for them the material produced in Moscow in order to fulfill their own political agenda. The way they produce information is designed for European lectors and for European clients, consumers, and especially, in fact, RT and Sputnik, they have some local redactions, some local staffs. For example, in France, there are many French-speaking and even French people working for RT and Sputnik to advise and even to produce some material information that will be useful in some political agenda for some activists and some candidates in the French political life. So basically, some of the information produced by Sputnik, for example, they have practically nothing to do with Russia. They are produced in France, for example, by French people, for French people. Only the money is Russian.
On social media, fake accounts are the foot soldiers of the information campaign, and they are used in two main ways. They can be used to create a message. This would be the troll accounts. They'll masquerade as somebody who is a member of the target population. They will try and infiltrate that target population by interacting with genuine members of the community. They will try and build up a following in that group, and then they can try and insert their biased or false information into that group in order to try and influence it, steer it in a particular political direction. You also have the bot accounts, which are mostly or entirely automated, and they're used as amplifiers. There's a well-known bot user in the American alt-right who is on the record as saying all you need is about 1,000 bots. If you use those to give a tweet 1,000 retweets, then genuine users will look at it and think that must be a credible tweet, and therefore they are more likely to share it. And so the bots serve as an amplifier, and they serve as an extra badge of authentication and amplification for individual posts. And then you have the bots and the trolls working together to create divisive messages or political messages, push them out into the larger ecosystem.